Arsenal set for talks and to advance a deal for Kudus. This is big transfer news, Arsenal fans. It's maybe the news surrounding the attacking player, the additional player in the Arsenal attack that they will hit and go for during their pre-season tour ahead of the new and eagerly anticipated Premier League season. We're also touching base here with news surrounding Arsenal still being keen on Lavia. Liverpool leading that race, though, according to the Mirror this morning. Chelsea expected to make a third and improved bid for Moises Caicedo. More on that to come on the Done Deal show this morning. Plus, Man United now make Amrabat the top of their priority list after the securing the signing of Onana and Mason Mount. Everything for Højlund looks to be in the right area. It's now going to be Amrabat who gets the majority of the focus to bolster that Manchester United midfield. People, hit like buttons, subscribe, make sure the bell notifications are turned on as well. It's the Done Deal show. Let's do it. Midfield has been a frustrating element of the team for a long time. A long time indeed. The signing of Casemiro last summer demonstrated, to put aside for a minute tactics and systems, just having higher quality specialists in their natural position makes all the difference. Bruno Fernandes, from a creative point of view, has been, and goal-scoring point of view, as an attacking midfield player, has been exceptional since he's been at Man United. Casemiro came in that holding dominant role and did exactly the same thing, but you essentially just need to add more to it. Amrabat is now reported to be top of the priority list as a new midfielder. Man United are waiting for offers for Fred, Donny van der Beek and Scott McTominay, as they need to sell before moving. And it's important to do this because you have to balance the books. You have to make sure the wage bill isn't overly inflated. You can't have a squad that's too jam-packed and bloated. We saw that with Chelsea last year. So it's the right move. We all agree on that because we've all criticized Chelsea for doing the exact opposite. Amrabat, though, is a vast improvement on all of those players mentioned there. Light years. He can play 8, he can play 6. He can cover for Casemiro when he's either injured or maybe suspended again, as we know he does walk that tightrope when it comes to the way he plays. This gives Man United so much more strength in depth. When we're away from home playing against the big boys, having Amrabat and Casemiro in the middle is going to be very, very difficult for opponents to penetrate, to score against, to break down and really attack that back line. Amrabat is also very press resistant as well. And this is a player that I am genuinely desperate to see at Manchester United. And for £25 million, it is a steal. Another transformative signing, reportedly now on its way to Manchester United. I cannot wait. This team will be cooking next year. There is no doubt about it whatsoever in my mind. This is accompanied with reports, by the way, that the player wants to join Manchester United as well. So keep your eye out for this deal. It's going to continue to progress. There's no doubt about it in my mind. Now, moving to North London, Arsenal have bolstered their midfield. There's talk now that Thomas Partey may stay, which I think makes Arsenal's midfield next season formidable. But what are they going to do about the attack? They need more quality in the attacking areas, more rotation, especially with Champions League football. Bukayo Saka burnt out towards the end of last season, and I'm not surprised used so regularly because of the necessity of it. It's now reported that Arsenal want Mohamed Kudus. It says here the Gunners want to sign Mohamed Kudus from Ajax, according to the Mail, after his exciting performances for Ghana at the World Cup. I would also add into that personally, what he was doing in the Champions League for Ajax was sensational. The 22-year-old midfielder's versatility is said to have caught Mikel Arteta's eye. but Arsenal must sell before they can invest in Kudus, having already splashed 200 million on new signings. And we always knew this was going to be the case with Arsenal. They were going to use preseason to assess. They were going to try and sell people, then look to reinvest. They add a Mohamed Kudus to this team. He can play attacking midfield. He can play right. He can play left. The report I've read suggests that he would be cover for Saka. I disagree with it slightly. By the way, everyone knows how brilliant I think Saka is. I'm so glad he's an Englishman, plays for my nation. Very happy about that. Gutted he's an Arsenal player, but at least I get to see him international duty play for my team. Mohamed Kudus is not just going to come to Arsenal and say, great, I'm going to play back up to Saka on the right or back up to Odegaard in an attacking midfield position. This man is legit. He is going to come in and go, great. Well, my squad status when I sign is rotational first team. Probably one of the main 13, 14, 15 players used. But he has got the whereabouts as an individual to want to fight and make himself a first team regular. And that's exactly what Arsenal need. It's exactly what Arsenal need. They don't need people that are just happy to be on the bench and not push to become first team players. So I always talk about a squad, and yes, you have your best 11 that everybody could probably name. It's all about the 12, 13, 14, 15 most used players, because those 2, 3, 4 additional players outside the main 11, you want those players to have the ability to start week in, week out. If those players are of El Neni level, Lokonga level, Tavares level, you have a problem with your depth. What you need is for those next 3, 4, 5 players to be good enough to start if Saka was out for 6 months injured. And I think Kudus is that guy. I also think he's good enough. If he performs, we've seen what he's done in the Champions League, we've seen what he's done internationally, to become a first-team regular at Arsenal. This is another dangerous piece of business from the Gooners if they pull it off. I'm worried. I'm fearful. Again, they're acting like such big boys now. I don't know where their big boy pants have come from, because this wasn't Arsenal 2 years ago. For nearly 20 years, this wasn't Arsenal. Legitimately, with the new deals, the amount of money they're spending, they're tearing up the script. Arsenal fans for decades celebrated, oh, we've got one of the lowest wage bills in the top 6. Oh, our net spend is so good. I couldn't believe they used to celebrate it. Mikel Arteta and Edu are saying, we ain't playing by these games anymore. We're acting like a giant team. Horrible to see as a Man United fan, but I'm sure you Gooners are excited. Now, kind of staying with Arsenal here, there was another report today that I wanted to touch on. The Lavia deal hasn't progressed at all, and we've all seen that, we've all witnessed it. However, it doesn't go away. The Mirror here report that Liverpool are leading the chase for Southampton midfielder, with Henderson and Fabinho likely to leave. But the Gunners have been in contact over a move for the 19-year-old, who is valued at 50 million all summer, despite spending big on Declan Rice. Lavia is expected to leave St Mary's this summer, following the club's relegation to the Championship. I just think, listen, this is a deal where I've said this about Caicedo, and we're going to get onto him in a minute, but Liverpool have got to act quick. They've got to get this deal done. I know they don't want to do it without getting rid of people first, but they've got to get the balance right here. Man United looking at Amrabat, but right now, as far as I've read, and look, there could be a sting in the tail, but United are leading that race. He's kind of got his heart set on Man United, where Lavia isn't 100% set on Liverpool. They're leading the race, but it doesn't mean he wouldn't join Arsenal. It doesn't mean he wouldn't join Chelsea or somebody else. So they've got to act. They've got to get these deals with Saudi pushed through for the removal of players so they can get him down, because Arsenal will sell players in the next 2 to 3 weeks, and they will come again in the window. Where do you all think, though, Lavia is going to end up? I'd love to get your take, your views, and your opinions on this. Now, staying in London, I wanted to touch here on Chelsea. Thank you for staying with us, by the way, people, and hit the like buttons and make sure you've clicked on the bell notification button as well. So here, Brighton reject Chelsea's £70 million bid for Caicedo. It says Chelsea have lodged their improved bid for Moises Caicedo, as first posted by Nazir Kinsella yesterday. Chelsea was set to test Brighton's resolve with a bid of £70 million, though they were fears that there was not going to be enough. Those fears were correct. The Athletic is now reported that the bid has been fully rejected. Caicedo has flown directly to the United States from Ecuador for Brighton's pre-season tour. So this is becoming frustrating now for Chelsea. We know it is frustrating for Caicedo. But what the report goes on to state is that a third bid is being prepared. Many industry insiders believe 80 million as a guaranteed fee should be enough to get this deal over the line. But I was looking at Chelsea's squad list today, and they've done very well to clear out a lot of dead wood and players that want to leave. And there's still probably a few more with, Aubameyangs and Ziyech is still officially there to leave. And they will get that done. But they've got to start bolstering this squad soon. The Premier League is basically 3 weeks away. Yes, the transfer window is open till the end of August. So there's still 5.5 weeks left there. But it's 3 weeks until balls start being kicked. And Chelsea have to make Champions League football. Otherwise, it's a failure of a season. They have to win trophies. Otherwise, it's a failure of a season. The same for every other member of the top 6 with how much we spend. They've got to get this deal done soon. They have to add a bit of excitement to this new squad, a bit of competition to this new squad. Even for someone like Enzo, knowing Caicedo's through the door will perk his game up. 110% it will. So it's going to be intriguing to see what happens here with this deal. But the second bid officially rejected. Third bid is on its way. Chelsea are not walking away. The player is hell-bent on being a Chelsea player, as far as we understand. I've read no reports that kind of contradict that in many, many weeks. He wants to be a Chelsea player. Chelsea, go get it done. Get it over the line. Pay the money. Bring your man in because Poch needs these new players. Listen, everyone who's tuned in today, thank you. Leave me your comments below on these stories. Until next time, take care. Goodbye. God bless. And I'll see you all again very, very soon. Thank you.